Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BOS Global call. My name is Alicia, and I will be your coordinator for today's events. For the duration of the call, you will be on listen only. If you need assistance at any time, please press *0 on your telephone keypad, and you will be connected to an operator. I am now handing you over to your host, Michael Travia, to begin today's conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia, and thank you to the shareholders that have taken the time to join this call. I apologise for the lateness. There was some confusion between the announcement saying GMT time, and of course, here in sunny London today, we're running on British summer time. So we just wanted to make sure we could capture as many people. This call is also being recorded and will be made available should have anyone worked on British summertime, that being 12:30 today. So I'd just like to thank you all again. This is another opportunity to use this medium to communicate what's going in BOS, but importantly, we talk about open communications and the opportunity for shareholders to write in and for me to answer in the best capacity I can. With always, as you understand, there is a caveat here. I will only be talking to what's in the public domain and won't be applying any speculation to what's going on in the company. So I'd like to thank one of the shareholders. They had two questions. One was in relation to why there are no email addresses on the website, hardly useful for potential clients, question mark. That's a fair point to raise. What's also fair to point out is that the company gets spammed a lot. We've also had a number of companies contacted because of rumour that we were doing business with them, and we had some complaints from some large companies where people were wanting to know details of their commercial relationship with BOS, which obviously we've had to deal with from a communications and corporate communications perspective. To answer the question, there are no direct email addresses because very much it is, and we get spammed. And we need to be able to quantify who is reaching out to us and that they are actually contacting us on a business purpose. We do have shareholder at bosglobal.com, and for the benefit of all shareholders, I actually get to see every email as it appears on my phone and on my computer. So I do read everything as it comes in to do with shareholders at BOS Global. I also get to see info at BOS Global, which is a general way for people to contact us. But the professional conduct, when a business is dealing with us, because we are a business-to-business company, there's always a disclosure, just simply their email address. So if it is someone from a bank, we can see it's john@nab.com.au, and therefore that gives us some level of qualification that if we enter into a dialogue, that we are actually legitimately dealing with that bank or that contact. So it's very important that people disclose their professional salutation or their professional email address when contacting us, because we need to verify. So thank you for that question. The second question from the same person, shareholder, was I submitted a request for sales info 48 hours ago and still have not heard anything back. If we are trying to close contracts, why are you not getting back to potential clients in time? Well, probably it's a difficult one for me to answer here because the question actually conflicts itself. It's asking for sales information. If is about our products, then of course we can respond and direct to the BOS-360.com. We could also send out some of our product data sheets. So if I've misread the question, then please accept my apologies in advance. We don't let any client opportunity go past us. And with salespeople in London, Hong Kong, Sydney, Melbourne, and in San Jose now, we are absolutely jumping on every sales inquiry that we can prove is a legitimate inquiry. And of course, we work through resellers. And secondly, BOS itself deals with enterprises only. So our team is very much focused on the quality of the product and supporting channel, but we do have larger companies who actually want to have a relationship with us because they want to understand the underlying technology. They want to understand where we fit. So on question 2, I apologise if we did not get back with some product info, but if you're emailing from a Gmail or a Hotmail account, it's highly probable that if we can't research that name and find a fit to a business or an enterprise, then we may view it as spam. And that's not to be disrespectful, that's just purely because we get spammed every day with people supposedly representing a company or a business. The professional conduct is to actually announce yourself with your title, with your company, and of course we will professionally respond. Secondly, could Mr. Travier confirm the number of resellers on their books? The short answer is I'm not going to state the number of resellers. I've made it clear in the shareholder update, we will aggregate the results and we will report them through half-yearly and full-yearly accounts. Anything that falls inside our global program management office, be that a reseller or be that a large contract, to which that company has to give us permission. A number of our dealings include confidentiality clauses, and as much as we may want to crow from rooftops of who's doing business with us, we are actually legally not allowed to state who they are because they want commercial confidentiality. As I mentioned, BOS is a business-to-business operator, and a lot of the times there is a lot of confidentiality and commerciality around agreements we have. So whilst we would want to disclose more, we are quite often very limited in what we can state in a public market. So to that shareholder, I thank you for your question. We will update the market, and we actually had another shareholder asking a similar question around trading updates. But what I can say is, it's our end of financial year on June 30th, 2017. As soon as possible thereafter, we will provide a trading update to shareholders, which will go out as an RNS as soon as possible after our year end. And you could appreciate this financial year to June 30, 17 has been a year of transition. Everyone's aware of the Forte reverse takeover. Everyone's aware of we've been trying to transition out of those mining assets that were there. We're near completion of that. And so that we can get a fast start focused just as BOS 360 work patterns and selling workforce analytics, which we are now getting a lot of traction around the world upon our messaging in that place. Do we have any other questions? No? Then I'd like to just use this opportunity to say, please continue to communicate with the company, because we as a company, and I am the company spokesperson, do want to communicate with all BOS people, and shareholders are very much BOS people. Today on our website, it's called an infographic, where we are trying to articulate and educate and communicate to the general market. So that's clients as well, that's resellers, that's companies who are trialling our products, that's also to the financial market community, where we fit. And it's called an infographic. So I'm going to use this opportunity to draw your attention to our infographic, which states that BOS 360 work patterns, BOS in its statement of workforce analytics, BOS in its statements of delivering product to market, we are at the strategic level of the value chain. We sit under the major global consulting houses, Accenture, McKinsey's, Deloitte, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers. They are thought leaders. They are convincing business and government to look at operational efficiency as major programs of work in their business. We fit strategically to that thought leadership and what they're stating organisations should do. Below us is today's workplace, where we have a number of management systems, your SAPs, your Oracles, your Sages, a lot of software tools, and there sits a lot of policy and procedures, and there's just a lot of software vendors selling a lot of software. But there's no congruence there. What I mean by congruence, it's not strategic. It's one-off type applications, and they are deemed management systems. BOS 360, and where we're placed in the marketplace worldwide, is we're above that. We are strategic. We are aligned to those who are demonstrating thought leadership. And to help shareholders, you would only need to Google Deloitte Human Capital Trends, where people analytics across a survey of 6,000 companies, 74% of those enterprises worldwide have a priority to get hold of people analytics. They are looking for designing an organisation. 92% of those 6,000 respondents for Deloitte are all looking at changing their organisation. And you have to look deep at this and go, if an organisation is going to change, how can they implement change if all they've got is software tools? And that's not BOS 360. BOS 360 work patterns is there strategically to help organisations implement those changes. If you were to look at Accenture, if you were to look at KPMG, the McKinsey Global Institute, Harvard Business Review, the thought leaders that business leaders listen to and act on are all saying workforce analytics. They don't say workplace analytics. They say workforce. And that is where BOS is strategically aligned, and that is why BOS will be successful across the globe. And that is why I'm heavily invested in BOS. And I would just like to close out, because I know people are always interested in what we're doing from a sales perspective. I can say this. On the 13th of June, there is no question in my mind that on the information at my fingertips, I am very confident that BOS will achieve its stated goal of reaching operating profit before the end of this year. And as all the shareholders know, I put my total income at risk on that. So as the company spokesperson, I'm active here in London this week, out on the street, burning shoe leather with my sales team, and I'm out to help them close deals. And I am personally responsible for over 20 deals around the world. So I will be continuing to travel because I have a responsibility to lead by example with my team of salespeople. So I have no more questions, I believe. I hope there was some insight there for shareholders. I look forward to shareholders taking a long-term view on us as a steady investment. As I've communicated, BOS doesn't run on day-to-day share trading. We run strategically on implementing a plan, delivering when we say we will deliver, and achieving milestones that actually generate and create shareholder wealth. And that's why I'm invested. Thank you to everyone.